This is the His and Her Money Show, where we talk about managing money, marriage, and everything in between. Now, here are your hosts, Talent and Ty McNeely.
Yes, we're back. The His and Her Money Show is on the air. Brought to you by hisandhermoney.com. Today's show is all about destroying debt. I hate debt. Do you hate debt?
We hate debt.
Man, I can't stand it. Okay? And that's the kind of attitude that you have to have if you want to become debt free.
Absolutely.
You can't be cozy with your debt.
Absolutely.
You have to hate it to the point that you're willing to do whatever to get rid of it.
That's right. And I think we have a great person to speak about that, Cara Stevens from the Frugal Feminista.com. And guys, she's going to give you all a wealth of information on proper steps that you can take to eliminate your debt once and for all. So you want to listen closely.
Let's jump into it. Live on the line today, we have a very special guest by the name of Cara Stevens from frugalfeminista.com.
Hi, Cara. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
Now, Cara, you are an expert and can help us all out with learning how we can go about eliminating debt. We hate debt over here at the His and Her Money headquarters, okay? And we want all of America to begin to hate debt with us.
Thank you.
But before we jump into your expert advice, can you give us a little background on yourself?
Sure. My name is Cara Stevens. I'm the Frugal Feminista and the founder of the personal finance and lifestyle blog, The Frugal Feminista. And I founded The Frugal Feminista over 2 years ago to help women really improve their relationship with money. I find that we as women can speak to our bodies, can speak to our hair and our nails in our sister circles, but we don't leverage that same power to talk about our economics, our finances. And I wanted to change that conversation. So that's why I created the Frugal Feminista, so we can leverage all the powerful things that we do as women, but do it in terms of talking about our finances as well.
I feel like the more we talk to people, that the sentiment out there is that being in debt is just what it is. You know, it's just a part of life. Everybody has debt, whether it's a car payment, student loan. It's just normal to have debt. But you tell me, Cara, is it a big deal to be in debt, or is it just a normal part of life?
I think that's such a great question. I think what's normal to someone doesn't necessarily have to be normal to you. Maybe before the credit industry started to grow, Americans didn't really have more debt than they needed. I think in our society now, because access to capital is so quick and we have so many advertisements, it almost seems normal for everyone to be in debt. But no, being in debt is not something that should be a norm. I think we've lost sight of the difference between a need and a want. Everything that we want seems to be a need. And I think that's where most of our problems come from, the inability to distinguish between a need and a want. And with that sense of immediate gratification that we all feel entitled to have things that we want just because we see them or just because we have access to credit in order for us to get it in a quicker, faster, immediate way.
What would be some of the benefits to eliminating debt?
Wow, there's so many benefits to eliminating debt. Number one, talk about peace of mind. You know that when a phone call comes, you know it's not someone calling for money. You know that what you have is what you own, and that you don't have any worry that someone is going to take it. When you're out of debt, you're able to say yes to things that you want to do more of and no to things you don't want to do. For example, there are a lot of women who, because they're in so much debt, cannot leave their jobs maybe to spend more time with their children if that's something that they want to do. Or sometimes they may want to take a job that is more of a passion-based job, but they can't because they can't take a lower, that job may have a lower level of compensation in terms of money, but high levels of personal fulfillment. But because they're straddled with debt, they can't go for things that they really want in their lives. Eliminating debt allows you to live more aligned with the things that matter to you most. So when you have too much debt, it actually keeps you from living a life that really speaks to what matters the most to you. So there's so many other reasons. Eliminating debt allows you to build a legacy of wealth for your family instead of leaving them with a legacy of debt. And so the cycle of poverty and scarcity continues from one generation to the other.
It sounds like debt just holds you back. It does not allow you to be you. You start to build a life that's tailor-made just to keep up with your debt, and you're no longer living a life that's full of purpose. It's only full of payments, and every decision you make, every choice, like you said, women are going to work every day that want to stay home with their kids, but can't stay home with their kids because they have to get out there to keep up with those debt payments. And so that's why we started His and Her Money, because we know how freeing and liberating getting out of debt can be. And it's such a life altering journey and process. And so, but how can somebody get from a mindset where they're just so used to accumulating debt because that's all they know, that's all they're used to? How can they shift their mentality to say, you know what, this isn't good for me. This is causing me to not live the life that I want to live. I need to make a change. How can they shift their paradigm and the way that they think in regards to debt?
That is such a great question. I mean, I can give some like large scale, big ideas and just some practical things. I'll try with both. I think the first step is really getting clear about who you are and what you want out of life. And a simple activity of identifying 5 things that bring you joy. Get a piece of paper, write those things down in one column. In a column next to it, write down how much that thing costs. So whether it be travel, whether it be spending time with your friends or spending time with your children, or taking dance classes or taking cooking classes, write those things down. And when you find out how much it actually costs, you can begin to see how much do you really need or where your money should go, your extra money should go. And then on top of that, you can make a time audit and a financial audit. If these are the things that you say that you love to do, how often are you doing them? And then you can also see if you're not doing them, where's your money going? Is your money going to things that other people are telling you are worthwhile? So are you spending money because the person in your office or another family member considers this what good living is? So their values of maybe expensive restaurants or expensive clothes have somehow eclipsed your understanding of what you think is important. So I think understanding, like I said, those things about yourself and having that reflective activity can really help you see where you want your money to go and how you can change your mindset. I think the second thing is that the internet is a great place to begin to change your mindset. There's so much free information out there about how exactly do I live a meaningful life that is aligned to my spending. So you can subscribe to sites like His and Her Money, my site, the Frugal Feminista, other sites that inspire and empower individuals or couples to think about money differently. And that third thing I would say, and that kind of piggybacks off the second, is to hang around people who have the money mindset that you're looking to move toward. They say birds of a feather flock together. And I think that's really true. If you want to be around if you want to be debt-free, hang around debt-free people. If you are hanging around people that love to spend for spending's sake, spend for sport, then you're probably going to be conditioned to do so. There's a concept called social mirror theory, where you probably are the aggregate of the people that you're around, the 5 people closest to you. So if you're looking at their spending habits are unhealthy, it's rooted in high consumption, low abundance in the sense of the things that they're doing bring a sense of happiness to them, then move away from them. You don't have to completely eliminate them from your life, but you definitely need to replace them with people who are on the journey of a wealth mindset, and that's where you want to be. So those are like 3 small things that you can do to change that money mindset. I actually had 4. Read. There are lots of books that I've read that have helped me push my financial thinking. There's the book called The Millionaire Next Door, which helped me really see that millionaires aren't the Beyoncés, that we know, aren't the LeBron Jameses. It's those people next door who are the penta and decamillionaires, meaning 5 and 10 million multimillionaires that spend their money in a mindful way. They're the people that own businesses, own boring, non-sexy businesses that sell forks or sell glasses, things that repair glasses. But those are the people that, because they live a life based on principles of hard work, entrepreneurship, and frugality, are the ones that have amassed wealth in their time and have still been able to keep their privacy. So that's one book that I definitely recommend. Number two, there's a book called The Millionaire Mindset by T. Harv Eker, which really helps you see what is your beliefs about money. Your beliefs about money can really determine how wealthy you would be. So if money is a way to keep track, to keep score, to show status, to show power, more than likely you won't have much because you're using it as an external foci for other people to validate who you are. But if you're looking to money to provide independence, autonomy, and maybe even security, you're more than likely going to amass it and keep it because those values are less about what other people can see and more about what you can hold for yourself. So those two books alone, I can go on and on about books, but changing your mindset comes from immersing yourself with authors who've already done what you're looking to do as well.
We couldn't agree more, Kara. I mean, like the old saying goes, you are what you eat.
Right.
And you have to constantly feed yourself with knowledge when it comes to being financially independent, being financially free. You need to know what that looks like, what that feels like. And that's why you need to read and get around other people. You know, you might just, like you said, you might have to put yourself on a bit of an island when you're going through this process, because you know what? Everybody's not going to get it.
Right.
Because the journey to debt freedom is abnormal.
Right.
It's not common in the culture, and people are just not going to understand. It's not going to take all that. You ain't got to do all that. Everybody's got a payment. And you can't let other people distract you, take you off course. And so I think that the fact, this is a brand new year, 2015, where everything, like you said, is online. If you don't have people in your local circle that can keep you motivated and keep you going in the right direction, you can, like you said, find people, find groups, find blogs online just to continue to encourage you and continue to motivate you. So now after people kind of reflect, like you talked about, and do the little exercises that you gave, which were phenomenal, how do we move from that into the practical journey? What are some things? What's step one on the practical side to get out of debt?
I think step one, honestly, after you're thinking about changing, is to set up a budget. You need to have an understanding of what's coming in and what's going out. So if you have done nothing in terms of organizing your files and figuring out, okay, how much money do I make? Number one, do you know how much money you make? And this is not gross. This is when the taxes and everything comes out. How much money am I making every 2 weeks or every month, however it is I get paid, my pay schedule? And what exactly are my expenses? And a rule of thumb for a budget is the 50-30-20 rule. For people that are new to budgeting, find it intimidating, a good way to see if you're overspending in certain areas is to use this rule of thumb. So 50% of your income should go to your needs, explicit needs, food, shelter, and clothing, right? 30% of your income can go to your wants, which can include like all the entertainment, all that fun stuff. So you're not living a life of complete austerity. You're allowing yourself to have some fun because money is also used for pleasure. But 20% of your income, without a doubt, can go to your savings, which includes your retirement, includes your emergency fund, and any type of investment vehicles that you've decided to start with. So first is get a budget. Second, I would say, is automate your savings. If you want to be even more aggressive, because I actually save more than 20%, I think that's a bare minimum, you can flip those last two numbers. So you can say 50, 20, 30. So 50% goes to your needs, 20% goes to wants, 30% goes to savings. And you can even adjust that even more to say that 35% goes to savings versus 15 to your wants. And I think once you understand those basic precepts of budgeting, you can begin to automate it. So automation is a great strategy, a wealth accumulation strategy that takes the guesswork, the forgetfulness, the resistance out of you saving for the future. So when you automate your savings, it's like you're paying yourself first, like your savings becomes a bill, and then you're putting that extra money away so that money can't go towards frivolous spending, and the rest of your money can go to eliminating any extra debt that you have. Another step that you can do is to actually, once you create that budget and see where all your outstanding debt is to create an action plan around that debt. So one, you have a savings goal, which is like the 20%. Now it's a debt elimination goal. Organize your debt from, there's so many different ways that you can do it, but I've always recommended recommended ordering your debt from the smallest amount to the largest amount, especially since money is such an emotional topic and getting out of debt can seem like it's insurmountable. So if you have 5 different bills for a credit card, for credit cards, the lowest balance is about $300. The next one is $500, the next one is $800, and so on and so forth. Put all those debts from smallest to least and spend as much of your extra income that you have after you've paid for all of the 50% of your needs. Take some of the money that's for your wants and put it towards eliminating that first debt. Once you've done that, move on to the second one. Rather than go from the debt that has the highest level of interest rate or the highest level of a balance, when you eliminate one debt that's small, it gives you a quick and fast win, which a lot of us, when we're feeling desperate, when we're in debt elimination mode and feel like we want to see change quickly, is the best way to keep us motivated. So that's another strategy, a practical strategy. And I think that if you cannot do this by yourself, do not be afraid to invest in a financial coach or someone that can walk you through it. Because if you know yourself to be a procrastinator, which a lot of us are when it comes to our finances, or we want to avoid actually looking at the realities of our financial states, have someone that's going to support you, hold your hand, be a cheerleader, but also hold you accountable. So that's another strategy. Find someone who's doing it well so they can teach you, or you can have them guide you toward helping you get stronger about your finances. So I could go on and on, but those are like a couple of things that you could practically do to get yourself on the way to eliminating that debt and to get yourself onto a financial recovery.
You know, we're big fans of that as well, too. Paying the smallest debt all the way up to the largest debt, because you're right, those smaller victories, it gives you just a little bit more to like say, you know what, I can continue on. I will continue on.
Exactly.
Let's knock out the next one.
Right.
You know, so great advice.
Right.
What are some practical strategies or measures that people can implement in order to eliminate their debt, like outside of their income?
Oh, I love this. I mean, there's only 3 ways to eliminate debt, and the 3 are decrease your expenditure, increase your income, or do both, right? So after looking in the budget and seeing, okay, this is as much as I can do with the money that I have, you need to start bringing some income in. There's so many different ways that you can increase your income from the privacy of your home. I just got a check from check.com for some old books that I sold to them. So check.com is a great resource, especially if you're a bibliophile and you have old textbooks, in good condition, of course, and just old books that you're no longer reading, to send to them, ship them, and they pay you for your books. If you have a car, you can use your car to make you some extra money. There's a site called Park at My House and wrapmycar.com, where for up to $400 for a month, you wrap your car with advertisements and they give you $400 to be like a mobile advertisement. But if that's a little bit too extreme for you, they pay you to put decals in the back of your car for something more discreet. If you have clothes, I was the queen of having indoor yard sales when I wanted to make some extra cash off the clothes that I didn't need. I made it more of like an exclusive boutique kind of yard sale, but it was a yard sale nonetheless in my living room. So I would invite my girlfriends over, tell them that I have something special for them, and then, have them sip and shop, and then make my financial goal for the day by selling what I could in order, having a specific goal and then creating the price list according to the amount of money that I wanted to make from that event. There's focus groups that you can do. Focusgroups.com is a great resource for those of us that want to use our opinions to make us money. Even start an online hustle like the Frugal Feminista as a source of income. As being a blogger, a part-time blogger with a full-time job, I've been able to monetize the blog that allows me to gain some extra income. So if I were to have debt, I will be definitely using the money from the blog to help me pay off the debt. And there are other things like basically identifying what your talents are and using them. If you find that you're great at putting together outfits for people, start small at your church or your community organization saying, I can be a stylist for a fashion show, or a woman that is unable to walk or be be as mobile to go shopping for herself. You can use your passion for social media. Blogger.com provides people who are not even bloggers with up to $50 to tweet or post certain brands' information and promotions on their sites without needing a blog themselves. So that's $50 for 8 tweets. You can't really beat that. So those are just a sample of ways that you can increase your income without having to get a second job or have something be very time intensive, but you can do it on your own schedule.
You know, Kara, we're right in the middle of what we call hustle season, right? And we feel like you cannot get out of debt without going in the full-blown hustle
and
mode.
She just listed a whole bunch of them.
You just ran a whole list down.
There's no excuse, people.
No.
Did y'all write that down? Okay. That was some hustles that y'all can start
free
today.
Information that she just gave out for free.
Yeah, I think that what it is that we expect windfalls. You know, we expect money to be coming in from some place that we've never known before. It's not going to happen. So if you're looking for that, you're going to always be in debt. So you got to have that drive. You have to be hungry. You have to be like, you know what? This debt is either me or this debt. So it's war. And I don't think we really understand that debt is the new form of slavery. You want to be in a position not to move, get more debt. You want not to be free, get more debt. You don't want to be able to tell your boss, you know what, I'm leaving. You know what I mean? But because you have so much money on credit card A, B, C, and D, you have to sit yourself down and take whatever is happening at your office. No. When you have money, you're able to have options, period. When you have money, you can decide what your future is, period. So you have to be hungry and you have to want your independence. You have to want it more than the debt that you have. You have to realize that your independence and your freedom is more than the Michael Kors bag that someone else was rocking or the nice car. Because also you don't even know how these people got it. You know, they may have it, but they may not own it. And I think you have to understand that looks can be extremely deceiving. That's why books like The Millionaire Next Door was so powerful, because there are these people that walk around in the simplest of clothes, you know, looking so simple, but they're sitting on stacks. You know, and there's those of us that look like we're sitting on stacks, but we have nothing. And so I'm aware of looks. Not everything that glitters is gold, you know? So
true.
I'm with you. I hustle all day, every day.
And you can't be lazy, you know, and I think that's the issue. I think a lot of people, let's keep it real, they're lazy.
Right.
Right? You know, they think, oh, that's a lot. That's too much work to have a yard sale. No, it's not.
Right.
It's not. You know, they think it's too much work to put something online. My husband would tell you, I am the queen of selling things as well. We made $300 in 1 week off on Facebook.
No, I saw that. I saw that video.
You know?
I'm taking note. And that was free. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to be in a position like I'm going for it.
There you go. And the thing about it is these are items that we use.
I know.
Okay? So it wasn't like it went to waste. We use them, and then when you're not using them anymore, just sell it.
Right.
Make money.
Yes.
You know, you can't be lazy.
My mom always told me one full basket. Little by little, the chicken will drink water. And I don't think that people understand the power of just commitment. Keep going. You get rich slowly, not get rich quickly. You know?
There you go. That's so true.
So the way.
Tell me this, Kara. Yeah. The process to getting out of debt is not something that's going to happen overnight, because we did not get in debt overnight, right? It's a journey. It's a process. It takes time. Right. How can somebody on this journey stay motivated during the process of getting out of debt?
That's a great question. I mean, there's so many ways that you can stay motivated. I started a Facebook group called the $20 Cash Crash Diet Challenge, where people come in and we stay committed to only spending $20 a week during the work week to keep our expenses low. So there are communities on Facebook that are free that can keep you motivated. So we do a morning reminder, you know, go out there and be strong of good financial courage. And then we come back and check in and make sure we didn't spend anything. We root each other on for our good decision making, not poor decision making. We root each other on for preparation in our planning. So there are places, number one, that accountability groups that you can find online that can help you stay motivated. Another way to stay motivated is to actually chart your progress. So if you're very visual person, if you have a whiteboard or dry erase board in your home, and then I love checking off and crossing off, I'll write down the debt that I've eliminated and make a line through it, or make a bar about how much debt is being eliminated week 1, week 2, week 3, or it could be January, February, March, April. So you can have visual reminders of your progress. 3, you can have financial affirmations. For those of us that are spiritual, there's lots of, and Christian, there's lots of scripture that can keep you motivated. And you can meditate in the morning. You can have reminders in your car. You could put it on a post-it. You could put it at your desk to keep you focused on your goal of complete financial freedom. For those of us that are not particularly religious, but more spiritual, you have lots of affirmations that remind you that you only want abundance in your life. You want to be free. You want to be debt free. So crafting financial affirmations are definitely ways to keep yourself motivated. I know myself on my financial freedom bucket, which is just like a cookie jar, I have, Kara, you start strong, you end stronger, because I know sometimes that I start things that I don't finish. So that's my financial affirmation. And even having a cookie jar, and I put on it, save for a sunny day. I collect all my loose change when I come home, and that's something that's fun, and I drop it in there. That is another way to keep me motivated. Another way to keep you motivated is to have your financial fight song. Like, what songs keep you motivated to stay on your track to abundance? I talked to a couple of women. They recommended Beyonce's Grown Woman. I like Ain't Nothing Going On But the Rent. You know, you can have an array of songs that I like India Arie's Strength, Courage, and Wisdom. So whatever it is that you need, music may also motivate you. Also like Kanye West, that some of his songs, Never Let Me Down, Jesus Walks With Me. You know, those songs can help you stay motivated when you need that extra bit of fight to keep you going.
Right now, to the people listening right now who feel there is no hope or no real way for them to become debt free, what can you say to them right now?
I think that there is hope. I think that the place of all progress begins in the mind. So I'm not telling you if you're in $100,000 of debt, I'm not saying tomorrow is going to be down to $10,000, but I'm saying with a little bit of work by the end of the month, you may have $99,900 worth of debt. And it's the small wins that you want to look for. Break it up into small steps. So don't look at it in terms of the whole. Look at it in terms of the part. So maybe you don't want it to be 6 figures by next month. You want it to be 5 figures. And then you want that 5 figure to have 1 less zero on it. So instead of 900, so let's say your debt is now, say, $50,000. Maybe your goal is to have 49,000, and then maybe it's 48,500. I think that staying focused on the small wins will help you get towards your goal. And I think also rewarding yourself along the way, not with something expensive, but with something meaningful. Maybe it's a long bath, or a nice glass of wine, or a weekend with no children. Maybe your husband or your spouse or your wife can take the kids for you, or your sister or someone, but something to reward yourself for a job well done. And I think refraining from comparing yourself to others, because oftentimes we compare. Stay off of social media, by the way. Yeah. Staying off of social media will probably help you, because social media, especially Facebook, fuels these ideas of fantasy. People only show the best parts, the scripted parts of their lives, and you're comparing it to the reality of yours. So I would definitely surround myself in positivity and make strategic efforts to eliminate all things that would remind me that I should be in a different place than I should be right now financially.
Great advice indeed. Can you tell us a little bit about the mission of your site, the frugalfeminista.com?
The Frugal Feminista is a site that seeks to inspire and empower women of color, in particular Black women, to have a better relationship with their money so they can make better decisions around money, to use money as a tool to fund their juiciest lives. So when I say juicy, I'm talking about the life that they really want instead of the life that people want them to have or expect them to have. So I help women gain power back into getting their own power in their lives by controlling their finances.
Right now, are there any resources that you would like to mention?
Sure. On the site, there's a free, FREE, right? 99 ebook called the 5-Day Financial Reset Plan, where I give you, if you're looking to change your money mindset, create a debt elimination plan, organize your files, stay motivated, and get to know your credit score and understand what it means to have good credit, that ebook is there as a guide for you. I walk you step by step for you in just a short period of time to really think about your finances, your relationship with your finances, and practical step-by-step tips to help you improve in various aspects of your finances. So that's a free resource. That's a free resource that I want everybody to have. You can just download it and just put your email address and it's all yours.
We'll be sure to have a link to that in our show notes.
Mm-hmm.
Where can people connect with you on social media?
Thank you. I am a bit of a social butterfly, so you can find me mostly on Twitter. My handle is Frugal Feminista, and I have a Facebook page, The Frugal Feminista as well. Those are 2 best places to catch me.
Kara Stevens from thefrugalfeminista.com. Thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
There you have it, ladies
great.
and gentlemen. You have now, I hope you took notes, because now if you took notes, you got some good information to get the ball rolling.
She took you right from having the correct mindset to now the process of starting to eliminate debt and how you can eliminate it.
I like the fact that she gave out some hustle season
Free
tips.
advice.
Come
She
on.
sure did.
It's hustle season, people. I hope you wrote that stuff down because you're not going to get out of debt just from your 9 to 5. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, people. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but it's going to take some sweat equity. You're going to have to fully engage into hustle season if you want to be debt free once and for all.
And I like how she said, debt is a new slavery. It keeps you in bondage.
Yeah. You can't even live a life that you really want to
Right.
because you're trying to keep up with your debt payments.
You have to continue to work in
in a job that you may not necessarily want to
Right.
work
What
at,
if
but it
wanna
pays
come-
you enough.
Yeah, what if you want to come home to stay with the children? You can't.
How many of us are making those type of life-altering decisions where you have a passionate desire to come home full-time or to start a business and you can't? Why?
lot.
Because you're in debt. What if your life was different? What if you were debt-free, able to make decisions not based on your debt, but based on your passion?
And you heard what she said. Get yourself around like-minded people. There are communities out there on Facebook. Just do a simple search. There are communities where people will hold you accountable. A lot of different financial communities. Like she said, you can sign up at blogs. But guys, there's help out there.
Email us.
Yes.
You need some motivation? You need some questions answered?
And we do respond.
Email us.
Yes. Leave
Tweet
a comment.
us.
Leave a comment on our website. We will comment back as well.
We'll be your accountability. We're here for you guys.
That's right.
We're here for you. Well, that does it for this episode of the His and Her Money Show.
Don't forget to visit us over on our website at hisandhermoney.com, where we share a ton of information to help you win at this debt thing.
Catch us on Twitter at His and Her Money. Send us a tweet anytime and we'll tweet you back. Well, here it is. No matter where you are on the road to financial freedom, the key is to start now
and finish strong.
Thanks for tuning in to the His and Her Money Show. For more information on how to win with your finances, be sure to visit www.hisandhermoney.com.